Good evening and welcome to NZC Tonight, where we put the curriculum into action and you get a bloody good show. Tonight's hot topic, social constructivism, and kicking off the discussions is PhD graduate Dr. Joshua Allen.
Cooperative learning occurs when lessons are structured so that students work in small groups to maximise their own and others' knowledge. When creating learning tasks for students, it needs to include the 5 key components: positive independence, promotive interaction, individual and group accountability, interpersonal skills, and group processing. Positive independence requires students to fully participate and display effort within their group to work towards a common goal. All members have a role to play in their group, which they must believe they are responsible for their learning and that of their group. Promotive interaction is when students present what they have learnt to the group. Accountability is used to hold students responsible for their learning of the content and presenting it to the group to eliminate social loathing. Interpersonal skills must be taught in order for cooperative learning to occur. These skills allow them to help each other to achieve the tasks and maintain positive working relationships. Lastly, group processing involves members reflecting on their work so far and how to work together more effectively. Underlying belief of social constructivism is that a group of people will develop an understanding of a topic through social interaction. Diversity in students is seen as a positive, as through generating knowledge as a group, the role of the teacher in cooperative learning is merely a facilitator of students' needs, allowing opportunity for students to use each other to figure out the solution to their problems. Socially constructing knowledge, students are given the opportunity to work together in order to achieve a common goal. This would be more difficult to achieve this goal individually for various reasons. For example, time frame, task difficulty, or workload.
Thanks, Doc. That was very scholarly of you. Right, up next is our top-ranked Russian gymnastics coach, Amy Roly-Poly-Over-Insk. Yep, she's coming in live to tell us how cooperative learning is related to adventure gymnastics. Thank you, Amy.
Learning gymnastics for the first time is not easy. Gymnasts devote their life to the sport. So to attempt to teach it to the students with such a limited time is really quite challenging. The methods these students used proved to be quite successful, yes. Each group member learning a skill and then returning to the group to teach it is a genius way, yes, of making students accountable for their learning, not just individually, but as a cooperative also.
This way, the variety of content was covered, as well as teaching students to cooperate, be accountable and responsible, work together, and construct knowledge both independently and interdependently.
Thank you, Roly-Poly-Over-Insk. She's so knowledgeable, it's great. Our first reporter now, Mr. Wayne Kerr, has got a very impressive PE teacher, Mr. Hawes. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah. We see that cooperative learning has been used extensively throughout the gymnastics program. How can this be used in another context, Mr. Hawes?
Yeah, Josh, that's a good question, mate. Look, yes, I do think cooperative learning can be applied to any task that requires or benefit from cooperation with other individuals. I'm sure other teams, such as the All Blacks, would utilise this heavily. After all, they're all professional athletes and they can't rely on the coaching staff and those above them to do all their work for them. They have to go out and really pursue their own learning and their own achievements. This isn't just limited to rugby in New Zealand either. I'm sure any sport or any sports team around the world could definitely use this to their advantage. Cooperative learning could also be extremely beneficial in situations. As you can see behind me, in a physical education class, they're interacting cooperatively and it's working well for them. I believe cooperative learning will work wonders in tertiary and secondary education, both in the practical and in the in the theoretical classroom. You could also use it in primary schools, no doubt. We use peer feedback a lot in our classes. Not only just reinforce what our students are actually learning and working all the time, but also builds better relationships with the students, and of course it lessens my workload as well.
Awesome. Cheers, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
so what
cheers,
do your
mate.
students think about this?
You know what? Let's ask them. Belle, come in for a minute.
So Belle, what did you enjoy about this cooperative learning?
Well, I created a team environment built on trust and positive energy, I felt. Throughout the gymnastics unit, what we enjoyed and found hard about participating in cooperative learning group was a mixture of many things. Having group members there to motivate us and succeed in certain skills was a plus. We found that through the diversity of the group, we learnt different skills from each person. The opportunities given to learn the skill were more abundant due to having smaller size group numbers. What we found particularly hard was having to overcome mental blocks outside our peak experience zone. It was frustrating, as we all wanted to have to succeed in every challenge given. Being a learner was difficult because in some cases particular members had more knowledge and a higher skill base than expert teachers did himself or herself. Therefore feedback was given at the end rather than throughout the lesson of what they could have
So what
done
didn't you enjoy about this cooperative learning?
We had no prior knowledge to gymnastics, so when we did a new skill it was really hard to pick it up because we just didn't know what we were doing. What some expert teachers found hard was not always being able to demonstrate a skill that they were required to teach. This may have been due to injury or having a lower skill ability than the task required.
Some advantages of social constructivist learning are: students can successfully generate understanding of a topic through using everyone's diverse understanding through their individual experiences. Learning community can be developed as students become aware of who other students are surrounding them through interaction and working together. Students recognise the importance of working together to accomplish something greater than what they could achieve individually. The development of interpersonal skills through metacognitive processing and reflection of the experiences of student, and students are held accountable for their learning.
Disadvantages of social constructivist learning. Learning process takes longer than behavior models, as the focus is on the process rather than the outcome. It takes time for students to become accustomed to student-centered teaching, so often students are spoon-fed answers to learn, with no intent to know why. Students can easily be overpowered by others, especially if students don't see the benefit of having one's opinion in the group discussion. Students lose engagement easily if tasks are not challenging enough.
For this assignment, we used the jigsaw method. We were assigned into home groups by Sue and then decided what gymnastic skill we were going to become experts in. We all separated into expert groups and learnt the skill. We returned to our home groups to teach them the skill, which helped everyone gain a higher level of understanding.
Well, there we have it, guys. It's us here at NZC's Tonight, view on social constructivism. Now I'll leave you with just one thought. Is social constructivism just a way for teachers to cover up the fact that they don't want to do much work? And don't they get enough holidays already?